Ready? Yes?
Yeah.
Go. Okay, today we're going to talk about the muscles of the arm. The first one, the most superficial one, in the anterior part of the arm is the biceps. The reason they call biceps is because they have two origins. One is located on the supraglenoid tubercle of the scapula, where the other one is the coracoid process of the scapula. So both those two heads get together and create the bicep that both at the end pass the elbow, and we have two attachments here: tuberosity of the radius and biceps aponeurosis, correct? Good. So now if we need to strip this muscle, we strip in this direction, cross fiber this direction. What is the action of this muscle? It's flexion and supination. So how we stretch this muscle? Extension and pronation. That's the best way to stretch this muscle. This muscle is superficial in the anterior part. Synergies can be brachialis, and antagonists can be the triceps. Now, if we take this muscle away, we have one muscle we learned from last week, which is the coracobrachialis, that stops to the middle shelf of the humerus. In that point where that stops the coracobrachialis, deep inside we have another muscle which is considered the strongest muscle on the elbow flexion, which is the brachialis. So brachialis, origin lower half shelf of the humerus and goes all the way down to the coronoid process of ulna. So this muscle fiber direction is this way, and cross fibers is this direction. Why brachialis is stronger than biceps brachii? Because it's deeper and dominate the more center on the elbow flexion. So they just consider the strongest on the elbow flexion. This is the muscle number 2 that does the elbow flexion. So the brachialis and the biceps brachii are synergies to each other, and the triceps is antagonist again. The best way to stretch the brachialis, because the brachialis does only flexion of the elbow, the only thing we can do is only extension. And there we finish the muscle number 2 on the arm. On the posterior aspect of the arm, we have a big muscle they call triceps. The reason I call triceps is because they have 3 heads. The long head is inside here, which is the infraglenoid tubercular of the scapula, when just the lateral head is in this point here, which is above the spiral groove of the humerus, and the other head is down here, which is the below the spiral groove of the humerus. All those 3 heads get together. The long head and the lateral head are the more superficial one. The medial head is a little more deeper, but all 3 together comes past the elbow and goes to this point here that most likely everybody know they call olecranon process of ulna. By going to olecranon process of ulna, when you contract this muscle, we're going to have extension of the elbow. But one head plus also the humerus. So when the long head contracts, we have also extension of the humerus. So the best way to stretch this muscle is flexion of the humerus and flexion of the elbow. What is the synergies with this muscle? The synergies with this muscle is a little tiny muscle here they call anconeus, because they both do extension of the elbow. And antagonist is the one that we just talked before, which is the biceps brachii and the brachialis. Stripping this direction, cross fiber is this direction. Another muscle, very tiny little muscle here. I'm just going to bend the client's elbow so you can see the both bony landmark. Starting this point here, they consider the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, where this point there here is considered the medial epicondyle of the humerus. And this one here is the olecranon process. So from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus to the olecranon process is this tiny muscle here that assists to do the elbow extension, and the name of this muscle is anconeus. Stripping this direction and cross fiber in this direction. And conus and triceps both together share the same insertion, which is the olecranon process. So by having the same action, they are synergies to each other, and the biceps or brachialis are antagonists. So as you see, guys, here we just get together the 4 muscles on the arm, but including the last weak muscle, which is the coracobrachialis, bring us to the 5 muscles on the arm. Okay, and this one we just conclude all the arm muscles.